Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Memory Hunt, the czar of the playbook, bring you our NFL Week 7 preview between the Arizona Cardinals and the Minnesota Vikings. So let's look at some keys to victory for both teams, starting with the Cardinals.
When I look at the Arizona Cardinals in this matchup, I'm focusing on the left side of the defensive line. Guys like Nick Eason and also Paris Leonard, the inside linebacker. Those guys are vital in stopping the run this week versus the Vikings, due to the fact that the Vikings are a team that loves to run left-handed. They run to the left side more often than not. Those guys have to have a big day in order for the Cardinals defense to have success. Also, O'Brien Schofield coming off the edge, getting pressure on Christian Ponder, flushing him is vital. But let's move to the offensive side of the football, and let's go inside the lab to see how the Cardinals can utilize the skill set of John Skelton.
In order for the Cardinals to have success this week versus the Minnesota Vikings, they got to take advantage of the skill set of John Skelton, which I think is a strong arm throwing the football deep down the field to Larry Fitzgerald. Here's how they can do that, what we have called the sprint bomb. And it takes advantage of sprint out protection, which helps your offensive line. It also takes advantage of the arm strength of John Skelton. It also takes advantage of the excellent route running by Larry Fitzgerald and the short to intermediate game by Michael Floyd right here. So this is how we're going to use this route and protect this route and block it up and get everything going. We're going to have Larry Fitzgerald lined up here, Floyd in the slot as the Z, F is your tight end. We're going to have that as King, and Roberts on the backside, the wide receiver. And here's how we're going to have it set up. We're going to have Floyd run a 6 to 8 yard sail route. And that's important because if he sees the protection breaking down, he'll throttle down and start to work back to the football because he is the safety valve in this play. And right here, the X receiver, Fitzgerald, a quick boom boom takeoff route. That's the #1 option. He does this better than anybody in the league. F, Jeff King, he's the seal guy. He's going to be looking for scraping linebackers coming down. So he's sealing the edge. He's making sure the sprint out passing play works. This half roll out, this half sprint out works along with the running back. They're protecting front side. And on the back side, we have Roberts working up a deep post route, then bang, break it back to the corner. However, they have a defense. If this play is bottled up, this should be wide open. But this is your 1 read, this is your 2 read, and if you're lucky to have enough time, this is your final read. So I think they can utilize the sprint bomb this week versus Minnesota to be effective in the passing game.
Let's move over to the Vikings in this matchup, and I instantly want to look at the secondary. To me, that's the biggest matchup. That is the battle that has to be won by the Vikings. You look at Chris Cook, Antoine Winfield, Josh Robinson. Those corners will be put to the test again this week versus the big and physical wide receivers of Arizona. If they're going to win this game, they're going to have to shut down the passing attack and put a lot of pressure on Skelton to be precise, and that's something that he has to show he can do throughout the course of this ball game. Now, on the offensive side of the football, when you look at Christian Ponder, mobile guy, but they have the ability to get creative in the running game. So let's go inside the lab to see how they can utilize Percy Harvin's skill set.
I think the Minnesota Vikings have the personnel to get creative in the running game and creating opportunities for big plays out of the backfield. You see right here, we have this wishbone type of set out of the shotgun, a bone type of set, tight end, 2 wide receivers, and this wide receiver is key. This is Joe Webb. This could throw off the defense a little bit because he also can run routes as well as play quarterback. You have Percy Harvin right here in the backfield. You have Peterson, and you also have Gerhardt. Simple option type of attack right here, guys. A triple option. You see combo, work up to the backer, combo, boom, work up to the back. Get this nose out of the way. Why? Here's the dive guy. This is what we're reading. We're reading this right here. We're running this dive right up in this hole, and boom, this is your mesh point. If this guy crashes down, then you pull it, and this is your pitch guy. Dive, pitch. If he crashes down here, then you pull it and you come back around. If he crashes down as well, then you pull it, you get to keep it, and you bring Adrian Peterson around. You have him going up to block. And if they constantly run this in certain situations, now you've created an opportunity for your wide receiver / quarterback, Joe Webb, to creep up and get downfield as well, because he is also a very good receiver. So the Vikings have a lot of personnel that they can get creative with to create big play opportunities in their running game.
X factor for me has to be Christian Ponder, has to protect the football better so that way the Vikings offense can stay on the field. For the Cardinals, I look at the interior offensive line. Contrary to popular belief, Skelton is a guy that can step up in the pocket, but if there's trash in his face, he's going to walk right into a sack. Now let's take a look at the personnel breakdown. Not much separate these two teams on the defensive side of the football, but you look at the offensive line, the running backs, and quarterbacks are question marks for the Cardinals, as is the receiving core for the Vikings. So offensively, there are some questions, but defensively, both teams are very stout. I like the Vikings in this game. A lot of focus will be on the defensive ends, Jared Allen and Robertson, but I think the interior guys, Guillen and also Williams, will be the X factors that will get pressure on Skelton, causing sacks, which in turn can get the ball back for the Vikings ball control offense. I also want to give a huge shout out to the Cardinal fan forums and Viking fan forums for always showing football game plan support.